Thank you so much. What an honor, and it is a joy to be back in India, where I have worked for 10 years. When you study outer space, you get called an astronaut. When you study the tops of trees, you get termed an arbornaut. So maybe I'm your only career person who actually makes a living climbing trees, and this is my world, that's my briefcase, and that's how my children used to see Mom go to work. Almost everybody walks through a forest and looks at basically the bottom 6 feet of a tree trunk, and almost nobody sees the 95% remaining in a forest unless you cut the tree down and look at it in a dead state. So it dawned on me that there might be something going on at the top, and lo and behold, we now know today that perhaps up to half of the biodiversity on the terrestrial part of our Earth lives in the tops of trees, and most of it never even sees the forest floor. What's really extraordinary is we probably know more about the soils on Mars than we do about what lives in the tops of trees here in India or in any forest of the world. So we have a lot of work to do. There's an extraordinary amount of mystery remaining, but to do that work, we need these amazing tools. This is my favorite, I must confess, the hot air balloon and a little sled below it that you can trawl through the treetops with. This is part of a design project with some of my French colleagues, but together as a team, we're able to put these amazing different tools to work to solve the mysteries of the forest. Another one that I actually designed on the back of a napkin at a pub in Australia, I'm embarrassed to admit, but that's how everything gets done in Australia. In this case, I needed to get more than one person in the canopy, and a rope only allows a solo activity. So this treetop walk, as we called it, was first designed and developed in Queensland, Australia. And since then, we now have a small company, I and a couple engineers, to build these in tropical forests around the world to help promote ecotourism and give economy to local people. This first ever public canopy walkway in North America was only built as recently as 12 years ago and actually tripled the visitorship of the state park in Florida. And that's pretty tough to do when you're located near Disney World. Here's another problem in my world that needed a solution. For those of you that might have children someday, it becomes a challenge in your career. How do you get to work and accomplish everything with kids? They get sick, they stay home from school, they do this and that. And I was also a solo parent, so it was an extra responsibility for me. In this case, my solution was take the kids to work, and even for better for worse, teach the kids to climb the tree with Mom. So I was perhaps lucky I had two little adventurous kids that did learn to climb the tree with Mom, and as a result of that, rather than being a detriment to my career, I think the solution here was that the boys actually added to my career. They found new species of beetles, they discovered and counted leaves with Mom, they loved, of course, to pick up the poisonous snakes and a few things that I didn't love, but for the most part, they added so much sense of wonder to my career that I'm very grateful that they were part of my solution and not part of my problem.